Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to our Winter Warmers webinar. There will be time for questions at the end, so please do submit yours in the Q&A section as we go. Again, this is at the bottom of the screen, and this is really important to us. We really want to hear from you today, so please do add any questions. There's nothing too silly or complicated to ask, so go for it. So we'll kick off with some introductions. I'm Casper. I'm Corporate Partnerships Manager at Magic Breakfast, and I look after our relationship with Quaker. Over to Laura.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura Colgan, Senior Corporate Partnerships Manager at Magic Breakfast, and I look after our relationship with Heinz.
Brilliant, thanks Laura. And Lucy.
Hi everyone, I'm Lucy Freer and my role is an engagement partner, and I'm here to support schools to ensure that they can reach all the children at risk of hunger in a barrier and stigma-free way.
Brilliant, thanks Lucy, thanks Laura. So the aim of today's session will be to equip you all with everything you need to know to ensure that children and young people at your school can start their day with a bowl of something warm and nourishing this winter. If we move on to the next slide, thanks. So which warm foods do we offer at Magic Breakfast? So as you know, Magic Breakfast offers a range of different breakfast products that can be served warm. So this includes Heinz no added sugar beans, and as well as a variety of Quaker products. So this ranges from traditional oats to original sachets, flavored oats, so simple products such as the golden syrup, strawberry and apple flavors as well, which we know are really popular at our schools. And just to mention on that as well, because there's been some recent news coverage around the ban on junk food advertising, including reference to some flavored porridge products. None of this relates to any of the products that we offer in our schools, which all are well within England and Scotland's school food standards. So all of these products actually have lower sugar and higher fibre than is required, and none of them have high degrees of fat, sugar or salt. On to the next.
So why is a warm breakfast so important? Why is it important that we're able to offer a warm breakfast in schools at the start of the day? Well, as temperatures have dropped, the winter season brings a higher incidence of colds and flu, so prioritising health is absolutely key. For the most vulnerable children and young people across our network of partner schools, a Magic Breakfast might be the only warm meal they eat all day. We know from our data and from speaking to our partner schools that uptake of warm breakfast foods increases during the cold months, so it's really important that we make sure that the right foods are available. And finally, by including porridge and beans in our provision, we can ensure that our breakfast offering is nutritionally diverse. The nutritional benefits of beans and oats are vast and varied, as you can see here. Both beans and oats are high in fibre and protein and low in fat in sugars. They provide a range of essential vitamins that support energy production, immune function, and thyroid health. And they're both slow-release carbohydrates, which helps to fuel children throughout the day. And this is even more important during these colder months. In addition, a portion of beans counts as 1 of your 5 a day and provides 1/5 of a teenage girl's daily protein needs and 1/3 of her fibre needs. As for oats, they're 100% whole grain, which means that they're full of fibre and nutrients. Plus, oats are a good source of minerals like manganese, phosphorus and magnesium, which are great for things like growth, energy production, and bone and heart health.
And so we thought it'd be helpful to sort of reflect on some of the feedback that we get from our schools and share this with the group. So we know that in some schools, actually, children and young people love beans and porridge, making up some of the most popular choices each morning. And our most recent monitoring and measuring survey from across the network of our schools pointed to some interesting findings as well. So you can see here from the quote from a pupil in one of our schools about how important the variety is. So they go on to say that offering a variety of choices is important. Offering a hot breakfast is really helpful in the winter months. It fills tummies for longer. And we also noted that when we asked schools, what improvements would you like to make to your breakfast provision? In the top 3 asks, so across 232 of our schools this year, was actually to increase the variety of options. And many of these called for hot foods specifically. So hopefully this session can be the start of that journey too.
We do understand that one of the potential barriers to you adding warm breakfast foods to your provision is the additional preparation time and resource needed in heating them up. So we've gathered lots of intel from our partner schools around how they're navigating this, which we're delighted to share with you today. For heating porridge oats on the hob, Quaker's recommended recipe involves mixing 4 parts of Quaker rolled oats with 3 parts milk or water, bringing to the boil and then simmering and stirring with a spoon until the oats are thick and creamy. Quaker's handy Oats So Simple sachets are also great for preparing individual portions of porridge in the microwave. They take just 2 minutes and the exact instructions are printed on the back of every sachet. So this is a great option for encouraging older or more independent children and young people to prepare their own breakfast. When it comes to beans, many schools heat them in the microwave, usually several cans at a time in a large microwave-safe bowl. Others use a slow cooker, which can both cook the beans as well as keep them warm for long periods. Last year, 33 schools received a branded Heinz beans kettle, which you can see pictured here, which is designed to keep large amounts of beans warm for long periods of time. And we had really positive feedback from the schools that received those. So we're hoping we'll be able to make more of these available in the new year. From speaking to our partner schools, we know that warm breakfast can be made available in all breakfast settings, including breakfast clubs, grab and go, and classroom settings. There's also a huge opportunity in secondary schools to consider where students can be more autonomous in their breakfast provision. For example, is there scope for them to be given access to microwaves and toasters so that they can heat up their own breakfasts and address potential issues around staffing? We've got some great studies from 2 of our brilliant partner schools that we hope will inspire you. But first, we thought we'd share some ideas to help you think about how you can vary your provision to keep your students excited, interested, and perhaps encourage them to try something new, starting with beans. As you can see, it's more about varying the preparation and presentation when it comes to beans. So there's the classic beans on toast, and you could add cheese if that's an option for your school. Alternatively, you could cut the toast into soldiers and encourage children to dip them into their beans. Then there's also beans on crumpets or bagels, and you could even make beans toasties if you have access to a toasty machine, as you can see in the photo at the top right hand of the screen.
So on the porridge and oats recipe, sort of suggestions and ideas. So we're already lucky enough to get a range of flavors from Quaker in the Oats So Simple range. So you can see some of these down here. So the golden syrup to strawberry, and we've previously had apple as well. So it's important to note that, yeah, there's plenty of flavor to begin with right away. And we're excited to see what else they develop as well. But why stop there? There's well over 100 recipes on the Quaker website. This could be something as simple as adding cinnamon. I know this is something that one school in particular has had huge success with. Or you could be more adventurous, exploring questions like if there's any fruit available at your breakfast club that you might be able to use as toppings. This could be a really great way to engage children as well in creating their own breakfast, as well as getting one more of their 5 a day. We've heard from a secondary school that is keen to experiment with overnight oats as well. So that's something that we're exploring, supporting that school with. And there's a ton of other ideas on the Quaker website too. So it might be using things like frozen fruit, which can be a bit more of an affordable option and is easier to store as well. So yeah, we'd really encourage you to experiment with what goes well at your breakfast club, try different things out, and do let us know how you get on as well. So we wanted to share a couple of examples from our schools that we've heard back that we thought, really inspired us, and to share those with the group. So the chief operating officer at one of our secondary partner schools told us about how they make porridge available at their school. So this is in Westminster Academy in West London. And we were really inspired to hear about the range of different aspects they had experimented with to actually uplift porridge at their breakfast club. So at their breakfast provision, sorry. So this included serving breakfast at break time as well. And that was helpful for reaching older children who may be a bit resistant to arriving to school early each day. And they also had these really amazing grab and go pots. So as children went into registration, they had someone who was strategically placed to sort of grab children's attention. And they also experimented with putting cinnamon in this porridge at this school as well. So yeah, our contact at the school said this had gone down really well with the pupils. And I thought it was also really interesting to hear from them as well about another point in terms of the importance of having hot provision to meet the preferences of children from across different demographics as well. And that was really important to their school too.
So this next case study is from one of our wonderful primary partner schools. The way that they offer beans is that they have a member of staff at the entrance of the school with a trolley every morning. On that trolley, they've got warm beans that they will have preheated in a microwave, and then they decant those into paper pots with wooden spoons that you can see pictured here. The beans are offered alongside bagels and crumpets in those little brown bags you can see. And this provision starts from 8:40 in the morning and is offered throughout the school. And that goes from nursery age children through to year 6, so ages 3 to 11. We're told that the children will often eat the breakfast right there and then. Others will take it to their classroom. So there's a lot of flexibility there. And then there are recycling bins in all of the classrooms that children can put the empty pots and spoons in. This also means that washing up is quick and minimal. When we asked the school, what has the impact been of this provision on children in your school? The head teacher said that they had definitely noticed the positive impact, especially for families who don't have breakfast at home. She said that she had also seen a massive difference in pupils' concentration in class, especially the more vulnerable children. We do know that budgets and resources can vary from school to school, so we wanted to recap by sharing a few tips that some of our partner schools have shared with us. Firstly, you could encourage your students to get involved in preparing the breakfast and or washing up afterwards. It's a great way to instill useful life skills while also taking some pressure off staffing. As we've already mentioned, there's also the opportunity to empower older children and teenagers to prepare their own warm breakfasts by giving them access to microwaves, toasters, or any other equipment you might have that could help. And several schools have also told us that they've had great successes with offering warm breakfasts on limited mornings, often on Mondays and Fridays to bookend the weekend, which takes the pressure off the Breakfast Club coordinators on other days of the week, but also encourages Breakfast Club attendance around the weekend. If you're interested in including warm breakfast foods as part of your provision, but you haven't yet tried it and aren't sure whether to start, we'd encourage you to take the advice of the deputy head teacher from one of our schools, who said to me, until you've tried it and offered a warm breakfast, you won't know. But if we could serve a warm breakfast every day, we would. Magic Breakfast Service Delivery Team are here to support you. So if in doubt, please reach out to your engagement partner and they'll be happy to help. You could do a trial to see how popular a warm breakfast offering would be among your students and test which preparation methods work for you. And don't feel like you have to commit to serving a warm breakfast every day if this feels overwhelming. Many of our partner schools have seen huge success and impact by offering beans and or porridge only on certain days of the week. So for example, warm Wednesdays, beanie Fridays, or porridge Mondays. And I know that Lucy has some other lovely examples that she'll be able to share after this presentation as well. You could even try varying your breakfast menu throughout the week to add an element of interest and variety for children and young people on different days. So for example, you could do traditional oats on one day, then beans on toast the next, overnight oats the following day, beans toasties the next, etc. If this webinar has encouraged you to try offering beans or porridge for the first time, or perhaps you already do provide warm breakfast to your pupils, but you've been inspired to try something a bit different, then we'd love to hear how you get on. Please do share with us your success stories, tips and suggestions so that we can continue to build our resources and share these with our partner schools. We're working directly with Heinz and Quaker to find ways to support you to make breakfast available to all hungry children and young people at the start of the day. Some of you may have received a Beans Kettle or Heinz equipment grant over the last year, and we hope that these will have been helpful. The great news is that both Heinz and Quaker are keen to continue to support our partner schools to provide beans and porridge oats to Magic Breakfast partner schools however they can. So keep your eyes peeled for more on this over the coming months. Thank you so much for listening. That's the end of our presentation. So we'd now love to welcome any questions you might have. And Lucy Freer, our engagement partner for London, is going to take the lead here.
Oh, amazing. Thanks, Laura and Caspar. Loads of interesting nutritional tips there, and also ways to kind of get over those barriers of serving beans and porridge in school, which I see and have lots of conversations with schools about. So sorry, one of the questions that's just come in. So can I order some beans or porridge as a trial? So yes, we can absolutely add beans or porridge onto your order, and it doesn't then have to be on your weekly order. We can just add it on there once. You can trial it and see how it goes. So if you would like to do that, you can get in touch with our logistics team or your engagement partner, and they'll be happy to work out portions and how much to add on. The other thing that I was just going to add on, which I talk to lots of schools about, is that as Laura said, it doesn't have to be every single day. It could be beans Friday, porridge Monday, something like that. Or in one of my other schools, they do a special event which they call beans, books, and bagels. And so that was just once a term. They had like a family breakfast, family reading breakfast, where everyone came in and had like a pot of beans, a bagel, and read some books with the children, which was really lovely. Sorry, I was going to add. So we've got a question here. Perhaps one for you, Casper. So maybe, do you think you may provide dried fruit to add to oats at some point in the future? Be nice.
Yeah, thanks, Lucy. Yeah, it's a great question. I think our innovation team and also our sort of partnerships development team are also always looking at ways that we can sort of add to improve our provision. So I think, yeah, dried fruit is definitely something that we'd love to see in the future. I think watch this space. We can't commit to anything right now, but definitely we'll be noting that down and sharing that internally as a bit of feedback. If it's something that we think would really help with our schools, then it's something that we should definitely be exploring and trying to make happen soon. So yeah, we'll be in touch if there's any updates on that, definitely.
Be nice. Thanks, Casper. Also got a question. So do we have to supply our own pots for the beans to be served in, or is this something we offer? So yeah, I've seen beans served in like those disposable pots, which are great. I've seen them served in, bowls, but also some schools do them in like cups, so that kind of those IKEA plastic cups with spoons as well. So lots of different ways of serving beans. We do sometimes have a small amount of funding for equipment grants. So it could be that we can help you with something you can serve the beans in. So either cups or disposable pots or bowls. So yeah, please do get in touch with your engagement partner and they can speak with you on this. Got a question about so milk. So this has been in the news in the last week, actually. So will Arla milk be provided with the breakfast, as it's been in the news regarding some dangers of Arla milk? So really good topical question. I don't know, Casper or Laura, which one of you would like to answer that?
That's me. I look after our relationship with Arla. Very happy to answer that. So we are aware of the press coverage regarding the joint trial between Arla, Tesco and Morrison's to reduce the methane emissions from their cows. We've been reassured by a statement from Arla that about the feed additive, Bovaer. So the statement says, Arla has assured us that Bovaer has already been extensively and safely used across Europe, and at no point during the trial will there be any impact on the milk we produce, as it does not pass from the cow into the milk. Regulatory bodies such as the European Food Safety Authority and the UK Food Standards Agency have approved its use based on evidence that it does not harm the animals or negatively impact their health, productivity, or the quality of the milk. The quality, nutritional content, and safety of the food provided to our schools is our highest priority. Schools that wish to remove milk or any other products from their provision are welcome to do so using the following process, the usual process for changing or amending your orders. So you can email logistics@magicbreakfast.com and the team will action your request. But once again, we do want to reassure you that, Arla has very much reassured us that this has been widely tested. It's very safe. And we trust in our partner. But of course, if it's something that you're concerned about, you are of course welcome to remove Arla from your order if you already have it. Or alternatively, if you are not already receiving milk, please do get in touch with your engagement partner or the logistics team to add it to your order.
Thanks, Laura. That probably leads on, actually, somebody's asked, they're interested in trialing beans and oats. Can they also add milk for a trial to go with the oats? Yes, absolutely can. So yeah, please do get in touch with your engagement partner and they can add it onto your order for you. Sorry, just reading through. We are a Cambridge school, and we have been running with you for 2 weeks now. And it's saying students who never had breakfast before, we've gone from 10% of having breakfast to over about 50%, which is fantastic. So I'm really pleased it's helped with your uptake. That's great. A question here, do we provide thermal jugs or decanters to keep the milk warm? Really good question, actually, because lots of schools say some children like cold milk, but lots of children like warm milk as well. So yeah, again, it could be you could apply for an equipment grant with us for a thermal jug or flask for the milk, then to mix it with oats or cereal. Yeah, not a problem. Get in touch with your engagement partner for that one. Okay, 2 questions on milk, Laura, for you. Will there be another option of milk? Can we provide soya milk?
I know that at the moment it's just dairy milk that we do offer, but our new business team are constantly, looking for opportunities to bring new breakfast items in to continue to diversify our offering. So I would just say, watch this space. We're doing everything we can, but at the moment, it's just dairy milk.
Brilliant, thank you. Something else I was going to add in, because someone asked about trials. I had another school who just used it in one of their morning nurture groups. It was a lovely group, but they called it the Gutsy Girls, and it was for year 5 girls who they wanted to be more assertive and more confident in public speaking. So they would meet once a week on a Thursday, and they would have porridge. And then, they would talk and practice different skills to become, more assertive and confident. So another idea that it doesn't have to be offered to everybody in the school. It could just be trialed and started in specific groups and see how that goes. Amazing. I think that is the end of our questions. If anybody did want to follow up and ask us any questions in the next couple of days, we'll send out, we'll share all the slides from this, and we'll send out the recording as well, and then how to get in touch with us. If you want to discuss things further, if you've got any more questions, or if you want to add anything to your order, please do get in touch with your engagement partner or our logistics team. But I think that's everything for this morning. So thank you very much, Casper and Laura, for sharing all that great insight into beans and porridge and adding it to orders. And thank you to everyone for joining us. We hope this has been really useful. And hopefully, if you found it useful, we may do more live webinars in the future to update everybody on our kind of products and share everything going on at Magic Breakfast. So thank you very much for joining us this morning, and I hope everyone has a great Thursday.
Thanks, Lucy. Thanks, everyone.